He's rock and roll's Prince of Darkness. Ozzy Osbourne has been turning out the heavy metal hits for over 30 years. Now the music icon's story is being told through the eyes of his son Jack in the biopic God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. And while the man of the hour himself was nowhere to be seen on the red carpet Monday evening for the film's premiere in Hollywood, his famous family was and agreed that telling Ozzy's story meant pulling no punches.
You find there was extra pressure because it is Dad and you wanted to do a good project by him?
You know, to a degree, I couldn't have made a movie about my dad and being like, this is how great he is and he's my dad, and because then it would just kind of fall into that category of this is just a giant, stroke piece. And I wasn't, I wanted to set out and, make this film and be as honest as possible. And that's, I think we achieved that pretty well. It's by no means is it a fluff piece, it's very honest.
All that honesty includes shedding some much-needed light on the famous dove incident that has become synonymous with Osbourne.
He sat there and he lets this bird go and everybody's, ooh, magic trick, oh, is that real?
I threw the one up in the air, sat on this girl's lap and snapped the other one in my mouth and bit his head up. And there's a photo somewhere of me, of the actual event happening.
It's been almost a decade since the Emmy-winning MTV reality show The Osbournes brought Osbourne and his incoherent ramblings into the pop culture zeitgeist. In that time, Osbourne has completely sobered up, and seeing Ozzy then and now on the big screen was the biggest shock of all to wife SHARON.
It's like two people, it's weird how you look back on somebody's life and it's like two different people.
She's seen the film about 10 times now, but Kelly Osbourne is still marveling at what her brother has put together.
See, that's what I'm most emotional about, is I'm so proud of him. He's worked so hard on this. How many years? Over 2 years, and he used all of his own money to do it, and he did it all himself, and that's, for me, what I'm most proud of.
And despite being one of the world's richest performers, the film will introduce us to the more human, patriarchal Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh my God.
I think you said it right, that Daddy's still so humble. He's such a humble, great, accessible guy,
No matter how much money he makes, no matter how successful he becomes, he will always be that boy from Aston, and he will always remember where he came from, and a lot of people lose that. And that's something that he's instilled, and my mother has, in all of us.
But it's Osbourne's hard-rocking lifestyle that has cast his influence in unique ways on celebs like pro wrestler/musician Chris Jericho and Jackass star Steve-O.
Ozzy was actually the first cassette I ever bought in my life. Was Blizzard of Oz back in 1981. And the reason for that was I was a real big Beatles fan, which at the time Beatles weren't really hip and cool. And all the chicks were wearing Ozzy shirts, so I thought, well, if I ever want to get a date, I better go check out what this Ozzy Osbourne's all about.
I met Ozzy one time only, and I told him, I said, I took a butcher knife and I carved an upside down cross in my shoulder and I smeared ink on it, and I did this as a tribute to you, because you, Ozzy, you made upside down crosses cool to me.
God Bless Ozzy Osbourne also showcases interviews with former Black Sabbath bandmates and even former Beatle Paul McCartney. But fans who didn't get the chance to see it at Tribeca this past April will need to act fast in order to catch it on the big screen. The film will have a very limited engagement, playing just 2 nights in theaters, August 24th and 29th through the Fathom Theater Entertainment Service. In Hollywood, Scott Edwards, CBSNews.com.